Everyone, Christian here, and this is a palm review, and this is in front of me is Dictyosperma album variation album, better known as the hurricane palm. So this palm is native to the uh, Mascarene Islands, Mauritius and Reunion area, that little island chain archipelago in the Indian Ocean east of Madagascar and south of India, and it gets named the hurricane palm because a lot of cyclones come through there, and it basically can handle any of the winds that come by. It can easily handle 100-mile-an-hour winds, about 175 kilometers an hour, maybe a little bit less than 160 kilometers an hour. So it really it does well for Florida, obviously, with having hurricanes over here, and it lives on hillsides where it basically deals with 30 to 40-mile-an-hour winds on a daily basis. So there's multiple varieties of this of Dictyosperma album. There's variation album, which is what we are looking at here. There's variation rubrum, which is has a redder look about it when it is younger, but basically looks the same when older. There's variation aureum, which has a whiter look when it's older. Will have white in the rachis and petioles. There's variation conjugatum, which will have a more compact look, and in fact the leaflets never fully open. When the new spear opens, as you can see here, the sleeve, which would be the end of the spear holding the leaflets together, actually does not ever leave, and it kind of keeps the leaflets held together. A very neat look for sure. So this palm is great in many aspects. It takes full sun, will take full coastal exposure, tons of wind, and still look beautiful in the process. Has a very tight crown, as with most wind-resistant palms. You're going to see this, all the leaflets are really held together right there in the crown. And one neat aspect of this, and this palm is currently in flower, is that it'll actually flower when it gets its first ring of clear trunk. So back where you see that thatching there from the old crown, which really hard to pull off. In fact, a lot of people will actually use a box cutter to cut that off. It'll actually produce a flower that young, and it's neat to kind of collect seed at ground level from a crown shafted palm. Not many of them will do that. There's a few other species that will do that, but you don't see them growing in Florida. They're more of a cooler climate plant. So these palms are they'll produce a ton of seed, and you can get quite a bit of seed for not that much. I think you could probably get 100 seed for around 15 bucks. I recommend getting more seed and just literally putting them in as hot as place as possible, and giving them plenty of water. The soil doesn't have to be well draining for them to germinate. They'll handle pretty much anything that comes to them. They like a lot of water. They do like better drainage. If you want them to grow faster, they might have some problems with drainage in the future as they get older. But they do love water. Just because they grow in a windy area and kind of a seasonal rain doesn't mean they won't take it all year long. So as far as cold hardiness, these tend to be planted in zone 10 and higher, but I've noticed that they will grow in good 9B climates. I've seen them growing in Tampa. Sorry about that, guys. Tampa, Orlando, just warmer microclimates of zone 9 that are almost zone 10, but I'd say I wouldn't take them below 27 degrees. They are, they will burn, but they're not that finicky. They don't tend to have problems with insect infestations. They're very resistant to pretty much everything. They're easy to dig up too. They don't mind being dug up like this. Take a small root ball, replant it. So very tough palm, often overlooked in Florida landscape. You should see it more often. They're relatively popular in Miami, but they're not as common as say vechias or coconuts, although they should be, because they really are perfect for that landscape. So they're kind of a little bit of a collector palm, depending on which one you have, but they make a great look. I'm going to kind of pan out here. And the seeds are going to be small. They're going to be, they look like a little, I don't know, a little almond, I guess is a lack of a better term. And they should have a little wedging on it. And you can plant them any which way you want. They'll find their own way down and up. And they're going to take about a month for fresh seed, maybe a little bit longer for seed to get the hydrate that has been dried. Let me come out even further here so you can kind of see the whole thing there, the whole crown and top there. So I would definitely recommend this to anyone. This will grow in southern Spain. It'll grow in parts of Africa, northern Africa, Middle East, that'll, as long as it's not too hot, I probably wouldn't want the 110 to 115 degree temperatures you see in the Middle East. But Australia, definitely a great plant for it there. And parts of South America. Here in Florida, I've seen these without any irrigation do just fine. I mean, they don't look as good as the ones with irrigation, but they're not that finicky, and you won't feel like you have to always watch out for it. It kind of watches out for itself. So that's pretty much it for Dictyosperma album variation album. If you have any other questions, leave them down below. And if you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe, and you'll see many more palm reviews like this. And if you have any, and if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. And I'll see you guys next time.